Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. Your dial is set correctly to USA Prepares. We are broadcasting 2 hours today from 9 a.m. through 11 a.m. Central Time. We're delighted you're in class with us. Most important class, Brad's engineering it. It's a class that you need to know about. I'm not exaggerating. Imagine having a means of exchange that's not controlled nor regulated by anyone. Imagine a means of purchasing what you want, what you need, that is virtually instantaneous. Imagine a replacement for the frauds, the Federal Reserve Accounting Unit dollars. Imagine a replacement for those. That's what this class is about. Today, 2-hour special on cryptocurrencies. Miles is with us. He's in Europe. And he's going to provide 2 hours of education. The mechanics, the pitfalls, how it works, what you need to know, how to get started with cryptocurrencies. Welcome, Miles.
Good morning, Vince. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you, Miles. It's always delightful to be broadcasting with you. You know, on Monday, we talked with Rich Shealy, you and I and Rich Shealy, and you gave us a wealth of information. And after the broadcast was over, we spent another 2 hours talking about it off the air. And I mentioned that it was like drinking from a fire hose. And then the next 2 hours, that was during the broadcast, that I thought that it was like drinking from a fire hose, the education that you were providing. And then I said during the next 2 hours on the conference call that we had you and Rich Shealy and I run, that was drinking from a fire hose on high pressure. It was extraordinary. And it's an education that I believe that we all need. And it seems like people are kind of frustrated with the Federal Reserve just printing, inflation eating our savings, eating our wealth, eating our wherewithal while we sleep. And it looks like there's an alternative. And it looks like the alternative is gaining traction. And it looks like it's going to win. From what I've read, what I've learned, and what I've watched on the internet. Would you agree or disagree with what I've just said, Miles?
I agree totally with you. Let me put an exclamation mark on that. Think about a situation where you, 1 year ago, hypothetically speaking, 1 year ago, you would invest $2,000 into something, and today you would have had a tenfold coming back. Is that worth talking about and learning about for your personal finances, for your personal life in the future with coming cryptocurrencies?
Well, absolutely. It certainly is. And you know, there are many alternatives. People want to have passive investments like buying stock. Well, you own a fraction of that corporation, but you really don't have any control. You can just buy and sell. But it seems to me that with the cryptocurrencies, it's different. There's more research that's required. And if you're willing to learn more, if you're willing to put forth the effort, there's a tremendous potential for gain. There's a potential for loss as well. But it seems to me that all fiat currencies fail. All of them. at some point in time.
I agree.
Well, it looks like ours is. It looks like the Federal Reserve accounting unit dollars are failing. People have had it with them. They really have. I have. You know, I was talking with our family this morning about inflation. You know, putting money in the bank. Yeah, that's what we were taught, Miles. I was taught save, save, save. You know, because you're going to need it someday. And yeah, it was a really good idea. But the return on the savings, when it was, you know, many decades ago, that was great. But now it's less than 1%, maybe 1/10 of 1%, maybe even less than 1/10 of 1%. It's like crazy putting your money there because you're losing ground while you sleep. So you're absolutely right. The cryptocurrency is really worth looking at. And there's some things that we need to know. So this is the class on the mechanics, what you need to know. And here's the difficult thing, Miles. And let me just say it right out front. Class, you're going to have to learn about 200 new words. 200 new words that you haven't heard before. Strange words. And you're going to have to learn them one at a time, what each one of these words means. And then when you can put together what these words mean, then you will understand the language, the basic language of cryptocurrencies. Then you can proceed. That's how I see it, Miles.
I agree. It's a journey that you put yourself on in order to find out what the future is holding up in stock for us. As a starter, I would suggest if somebody is interested in the topic and didn't listen to the Monday show, to go back first and listen to the Monday show after this show here, in order to get a little bit more of the background information on cryptocurrencies that we had with a conversation with Rich and you. And today we're going to talk about nuts and bolts, about where to go, what to do, how to purchase, what to look for, terminologies, and control mechanisms. So whenever something here, what we're talking about is too quick, too fast for you, go back at a different time, sit in front of a computer, re-listen this show, and you can then take your first steps, or even your second or third steps on that topic in front of a computer with the information that we provide here.
And class, just to let you know, I believe it'll take a couple passes through your brain, maybe 2, 3, 4 passes, the same information, maybe said a different way, maybe said by a different person, so to get you to understand the concepts. I believe that's what it may take some of us. So, Miles, why don't we jump right into it?
Okay, so as a preliminary here, traditionally, safe investments in the past have been gold, silver. As a physical one for speculation was the paper derivative on that. And I know that most patriots in all countries are saving very much what they can in gold and silver still. And that's a good thing, because gold and silver do have their value, but if you think about how the value and developed out over the last 5 years, of course, you can see that gold went up, and that silver was swinging back and forth. And with the silver, it was due to the manipulation of 5 international banks that are keeping the silver price at a most steady a place that the industry can afford using silver. It is necessary for the developed countries, for the developed world, to have an access to silver, to cheap silver, in order to build all the gadgets and smartphones and appliances that we have in our daily lives today. So this show is even something for the patriots that like saving in silver, only that with what we provide now today is going to serve them in terms of wealth creation much better than silver did in the last 1 to 10 years. So let's get started with the fundamentals. What is a cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency means cryptography money, cryptographic money. It's a current at sea where you can pay for goods and services with. And cryptography, there are tenured professors for cryptography that were working in the fields of military cryptography or cryptography of communication canals for banking or the internet. So the cryptography with the new digital cryptocurrencies is such one that you will not be recognizable by a name unless you wish so in a transaction. Everything is with digits and numbers, and you can have multiple accounts that you can spread wealth, or that you can spread your savings on several accounts and share it, have an account for spending, have an account for savings, and have an account for speculation. So cryptocurrencies are working with a technology called the blockchain. This is an algorithm that computes every second 6 transactions with Bitcoin, approximately 15 transactions per second with Ether, that is another currency, and Ripple. This is the currency that the banks are working on adaptation, such as Microsoft does, and IBM is using for implementation for Fortune 500 companies. A sister of that is Stellar Lumens. They have a capacity of 1,500 transactions per second. These transactions are computed on an algorithm and are available on every computer that is connected to the blockchain system. So, for instance, every transaction that has been done on the internet with the blockchain technology will be forever retrievable and visible, because you can just type in the transaction or the hash code and you will find out about that. Vince.
Okay, we're going into a break. We're going to talk more about the mechanics of cryptocurrencies, what you need to know about them. And class, I believe that either you can find out about it, get on board, or get run over by it. I'm not kidding. Class, Miles was with us, and we're talking about the shift from traditional banking to cryptocurrencies. So let some of these concepts sink in. And during the last 15 minutes of this broadcast, we'll be taking your calls. So get your questions ready. Miles, back to you.
Okay, we stopped at the blockchain. So the blockchain, to put it very simple, is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked, secured using cryptography. This is a direct quote here from Wikipedia. So everything we're talking about, you can go back. We will point to sources that you can reread and educate yourself in order to have the best possible start into that new financial world. The blockchain was developed in order to achieve decentralization of monetary systems. Decentralization in the meaning of, if I want to send Vince some money because he sells me a tractor, for instance, or something, like I want to buy a medal from him from World War II, and we agree on the price, and I wire him money with the normal banking system. It takes up to 8 days. It has to go through up to 10 banking branches, from my bank to my headquarter bank, then through our central bank through the international payment system, the SWIFT system, to the U.S. Central bank, and then it goes to the big banks, the big 4, big 5 banks that redistribute that then to the other smaller banks and their branches. So it takes a lot of time. It was pretty much centralized with a central banking, as it already says, central banking as a centralization. And the decentralization would work like that Vince and we agree on a price, and I send him what he asked on his computer or onto his smartphone into his electronic wallet. And that transaction takes, depending on what kind of cryptocurrency you are using, between 30 seconds and 1 hour. The difference in timing and how long it takes is the algorithm with which that is used by the cryptocurrency, and how many operations they can compute per second. So one block of transactions with Bitcoin is 6 transactions per second. And if you think about that, we have 100,000 transactions per minute going on. It'll take its while. So it's an hour. Sometimes it takes 3 hours, depending if there are many transactions in the pipeline. And you can influence the speed with paying a little bit more for a single transaction, but a little bit more. What does that mean? I'm talking about 10 cents or 15 cents, or maybe if you have a big transaction in the $1,000, it would be $1. Vincent?
And as you're talking about this, I was thinking about when one of our instructors, Bruce Kay, and I decided to buy some batteries, and it was a fairly large purchase. We bought our cells, I should say, nickel iron cells from China, and it was a pain in the neck. It really was, and wouldn't have been nice if I could have just used this cryptocurrency to move those funds, if you will, to China. It would have been great.
Right. So the blockchain technology is a proven technology. It is not something where you can lose the money. Once you have a transaction on the blockchain, every computer in the world that is connected to the blockchain can see that transaction or where the money went. It's not that you can that your wealth or your money will evaporate. It is just there somewhere on the blockchain. And for instance, there were in the past a couple of glitches with exchanging Bitcoin into Litecoin, or Litecoin into another currency by an exchange. And because the transaction was registered on the blockchain and it was time-stamped and everything, it had everything that was necessary to be a transaction on the blockchain, these payments or these transactions could be recovered after a day, and everybody was happy and that they had their money back. Vince?
Yeah, so it sounds like there are records that are available for others to see. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. It's not secret in terms of that you cannot see the transaction. It is secret that you don't see your name on a transaction.
Mm-hmm. Great. Miles and I will be right back. We're talking about Bitcoin, do-it-yourself, the fundamentals. Miles, at the beginning of the broadcast, we mentioned that there are about 200 terms you'll need to learn. You've already identified and defined 5 of them. Bitcoin, Litecoin, you've already mentioned these. Electronic wallet, blockchain, and cryptography. And class, there are potential profits that lie ahead, but you have to get past the point that this is a concept that only has value because people believe it has value. And the more people that jump on board, the more value this will have. That's the way I see it.
You're right, and I will expand on that just in a minute. I just received a message that you have a glitch in the live listen line there, so just wanted to tell him to handle that. Okay, the blockchain. Please read about that on Wikipedia. Just go to wikipedia.com and type in blockchain, and you will find the first important information on what you're dealing with. It is not a joke. It is not some nerd's work to make funny money. It is serious, and it is so serious that there are, even in Wikipedia, registration of commercial offerings of corporations like Deloitte Consulting, Consensus, IBM, Intel. Banks are using it, such as Swiss Industry Consortium, including Swisscom, the Zurich Cantonal Bank, and Swiss Stock Exchange, is providing over-the-counter asset trading on a blockchain-based Ethereum technology. Think about that. IBM offers a cloud blockchain service based on the Hyperledger. What is a new word? It's a form of a chain. So we're talking about something that is solid. It is not like others pointed out, in its baby shoes. No, it is in its implementation state now at Fortune 500 corporations. The Fortune 500 corporations, they do know that there is a reset coming. And the ones that are preparing for that, they will stay, and the ones that don't prepare for that, well, they will be gone, and no liabilities will be addressable to anybody then. So please read about that on Wikipedia. Just go to Wikipedia, type in blockchain, and you will read about that. Vince, something you want to add in right now, or can we jump further?
No, please keep going. You're doing great.
Okay, so the next one we need to touch upon are the cryptocurrencies that are available right now in the market. Most commonly known, there is the Bitcoin, and it is the one with the highest value. Today, right now, as we're speaking, one Bitcoin is worth $7,246 and climbing. Yesterday, when we spoke, we were a little bit short of 6,600. So there is volatility in there, and even if somebody of the class was used to play the brokerage game and making 5 or 10% of gains on a day trading, well, here you are at home. And to familiarize yourself with the amount of cryptocurrencies that are available already, there are over 1,700 as we speak now, climbing. Not every cryptocurrency will survive because it's a question of adaptability and what kind of benefit it brings for what kind of application. So just to find out about what kind of cryptocurrencies there are, you need to remember one web page, and it is www.coinmarketcap.com. I repeat, coinmarketcap.com. For learning about a single individual currency, you will find the most important ones that are in circulation right now, including their 1 hour, their 24-hour, and their 7-day charts. You can click on whatever currency you want to learn about, and it provides you the information, including the graph, including the web page, the information on recent changes. And this is your resource for learning about the cryptocurrencies. We have another expression. The expression is a token. What is a token in comparison to a cryptocurrency? A token is an investment into an idea or into a product of a product development of a company, or in a company startup itself. So we differentiate here between the cryptocurrency as the means of transaction, the payment solution, and the tokens are a direct investment in an idea, in a business, or in a product R&D, research and development. Vince, question.
That's a really good point, Miles, that you made about the token, because it almost seems like a token would be a coin, but not in this case.
Well, they're called coins as well, so the confusion can be maximized if you're looking for a token. Let's say PayPi. PayPi is something like a digital notariate. Like if two parties want to do business with each other and they want to check out each other and find out whether they're capable of going into the financial risk and signing digitally contracts. PayPi is an accounting company out of Canada that was registered there that is going to do that digitally now. And so you could have PayPi was offering their tokens, their investment into the company last month, and people who had Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin were able to participate in their initial coin offering. It's called ICO in short. So another new word, ICO. is initial coin offering. You might remember the IPOs from the 90s with new economies. That was an initial public offering being listed somewhere in a stock indice. And with the cryptocurrencies, you have an initial coin offering, although it might be a token. We will see a plethora of companies and ideas coming out over the next year that you will have the opportunity to invest in. And an investment might be 8 cents, 2 cents, $1, $20 at an initial coin offering. And I'll give you an example of a coin that I invested into. That was Royal Kingdom coin. It is a company out of Dubai that had a business plan to widen their business, to expand their business towards another exchange, a cryptocurrency exchange. And they were looking for $500,000. That's an estimation now. I think it was $500,000 to invest into that business. And when they received that, they gave out tokens for that. So I bought these tokens for 8 cents. And these tokens, that was 2 months ago. The tokens today are worth $1.80. Was this morning. They're jumping between $1.80 and $3.20 right now. So think about that. 8 cents to $1.80 to $3.20. What kind of margin is that? That's something that you've been familiar with the banks in the last years?
Miles, what I was saying is that the term coin now is different from and tokens is different from what we've been used to. A token might be used on a subway to pay your fare. A token, some people I might call a U.S. 1 cent copper or zinc 1 cent piece as a token. This is a different meaning for the word token.
Yes, it doesn't mean that you're going to the car wash and you need to purchase a token in order to have the car wash running. Here we're talking about a physical representation or a digital representation of a share in a company or in an idea, or in many ideas. So investments into ideas, corporations, and products are termed tokens, not to confuse by currencies. The currencies you have to purchase, and that would be the next step that we need to address. How do you get from US dollar, euro, Canadian dollar, whatever currency, how do you get from there to Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin? It's not that you can go to your bank and order the bank, I want to exchange $200 into Litecoin. They're not going to do that, although they're working with that technology, but they're not working in your online banking with that, or they're not working in the branches with that, and they're working in the headquarters with that already. So your bank cannot help you. Therefore, you need to find a broker, a solid broker, that you can exchange US dollars, euros, whatever currencies into cryptocurrencies. And that can be quite problematic because we're in the cryptocurrencies, we are in the face of early adaptation worldwide. And all the brokers that are there worldwide do have an influx of new customers. We're talking about Coinbase, for instance, has, I think, right now 300,000 new customers every month. Gemini has approximately the same numbers. So there are a couple of brokerages, exchanges. They're like an exchange that you know from stock exchange on the banking side, on the regulated side of a country. Now you have a digital exchange from money that you wire there, or you pay with a credit card. Some even offer a PayPal, that you exchange it then there into cryptocurrency. And we continue with that after the break. Vince?
Miles is with us, class, and this is a really important broadcast. I really, really believe that right now we're in a parallel system where you can use either one. You can use crypto or you can use, the banking system. But crypto is gaining traction. We'll be right back. Class, Miles is with us. Miles, it may seem initially that the cryptocurrencies are risky. Bitcoin seems risky. It's not backed by anything. Now, but if you look at the Federal Reserve accounting unit dollar, it's not backed by anything either. So one big difference between the cryptocurrencies and the Federal Reserve accounting unit dollar is that the Fed is not involved. And that seems like kind of a nice thing to me.
Right. We're talking here of peer-to-peer transactions. The Bitcoin rose in its value because businesses have stopped using transaction means such as the banking transaction ways and channels because of too high costs, too long. It took too long for the transaction. Days. If I would like to wire money to you, it would take literally almost a week. And the third one is you cannot wire money to somebody if your country is in dispute with another country. So sometimes you have the situation that you want to send somebody something, some money, or you want to pay an invoice, and you cannot send it on the traditional banking way because it requires a certain permission. So this is a permissionless system. If I want to send some Bitcoin to you, I can do that right instantly. In maximum 1 hour, you will have it on your account. So we're not the trust in a system that every transaction is visible, that every transaction that is on the blockchain is not being lost and is not going to wait for another authorization whether you may send it or not, whether your account has the balance or not, because you can send only Bitcoin if you have it. You can send any kind of cryptocurrency only if you have it. If you don't have it, you can't send it. The system doesn't allow credit. Vince?
For our class, how many people buy things on the internet? How many people buy things on eBay? I certainly do, and I use PayPal. Now, at first, it was a little difficult to understand that you've got to have a PayPal account. You have to fund the account. And when you go to use it, it's really quick and easy. But at first, it's kind of foreign. Why can't I just use a credit card? Well, PayPal works really, really well. And I have a feeling that the same thing is going to happen in the cryptocurrencies. The ones that are the easiest to use, I think, are going to gain traction the fastest. That's what I think. And that's what you're talking about, Miles. You're talking about stripping out a week from a wire transfer to virtually instantaneously.
And I can send with Litecoin, for instance. Litecoin is one of the cryptocurrencies that has the fastest transaction time. So when I push the button send and I send it to your crypto account, to your wallet, you will literally have it in 20 seconds.
Miles, you talked about the volatility, and when we first started this broadcast, I'm looking at my notes here about the current value of Bitcoin. It was $6,600 US to buy one yesterday. Today you mentioned $7,246. Well, that was at the beginning of the broadcast. Right this second, it's $72.81. So it went from $72.46 less than an hour ago to $72.81. It's moving fast. This is really volatile. And so you've got to understand, class, that whatever you think you've accumulated in Bitcoins is changing by the second. And that's not necessarily bad.
Yes. I witnessed days where we had swings $2,000 per Bitcoin. For somebody who is not capable on holding that pressure, $2,000 loss in a day, and climbing back 2 days later, even $200 higher than from the point that it fell. That's normal with Bitcoin. There's volatility in there. When you have volatility, you have gains, you have margins.
Yeah, and you'll have to get used to it, class. It's going to be like this. And where there is these massive swings, there's massive potential for profit. We're going to talk more about how to do it, how to get them, what you need, the steps you need to take when we come back. Please don't touch that dial. I just refreshed coinmarketcap.com, COIN market CAP.com. Bitcoin just climbed a couple dollars during the commercial announcements. Miles is with us, and we're talking about the cryptocurrencies. And this particular hour, we're going to do the steps. What's step number one? So, Miles, this is so difficult for people to understand the concepts that literally they're trading what they believe is physically backed currency, like the Federal Reserve accounting unit dollars, the frauds. Trading that for something that is not backed, not regulated, could disappear instantly. It's a difficult concept. And I was on the phone with Rich Shealy after the broadcast last night, and I mentioned to him that, when a person takes Federal Reserve notes and they buy a stack of silver, like 20 silver dollars or a gold coin, it's painful. It's like, wow, that was, $1,800 for 1 ounce of gold. Gosh, that's hard to do. But once you do it, you realize that that wasn't so bad. And then if you get another one, that wasn't so bad. And same thing with silver. But it's difficult to do this concept, trade the Federal Reserve unit dollars, which we think are real, for this concept. How do you square that, Miles?
I'll give you an example from my family. When Bitcoin was $4 a piece, I asked my wife, "Hey, honey, here's the Bitcoin. It's the new payment that's coming up. What do you think? Shall we invest 400, 500 euros in that at $4 per Bitcoin?" And she said, "Well, I don't know. Stay with the silver. Stay with the gold." And I said, "Okay, honey, as you wish." So I came back to her when the Bitcoin was $700, and I told her, "Honey, Bitcoin is at $700. Do you think we should buy some now?" And she dropped almost dead. She said, "Why did you buy all that silver when Bitcoin is $700 now, and then the silver is not going anywhere?" And the same thing happened when I bought the one token. The one token.
You're talking about me and my wife, or you and your wife?
Well, good. We're in the same boat. And another example was the token that I bought for 8 cents a piece, and that is now at between 180 and 320 with its volatility. It's not me checking the account on a daily basis 3-4 times. It's my wife that is so much interested in that. And I'm always telling her, be patient. Everything is just fine. It will still climb. We haven't seen nothing yet. When they open up their business, they're ahead of their business plan. You will see what will happen then. And she can't wait. She can't wait. Now, we're not talking about silver anymore. We're not talking about gold anymore. We're strictly talking about cryptocurrencies, because the banks do not offer anything for you to create wealth. The insurances don't. The bonds and the fund companies, they don't offer anything like that. And we are in a unique situation right now. The unique situation is we are approaching an economic reset. And especially, even for the patriots, it's important to understand the reset is coming, and to exchange things with silver and gold will be pretty hard if you need something that is manufactured in Korea or in China. How do you want to bring that silver or that gold over there? It will cost you more to have it transported over there than purchasing something with a cryptocurrency where you have an instant payment. And you can even have a digital smart contract to it that allows you to select criteria that the other party receives that cryptocurrency unit only when that product is in shipment with a registered number or when you received it, and until then it's in holding. So you're beating so many bases with one cryptocurrency. There will not be the necessity to carry around gold and silver and to have the issue that you need to watch for your life if something happens. And same thing, if you need to run, what do you do with the silver? Do you want to carry the silver in a backpack instead of having an MRU food unit with you? It offers you so much capabilities. The only thing that you need is an access to a computer, and you can restore your wallet with every computer or smartphone that you can access. As simple as that.
Miles, in the time that it took you to say that, Bitcoin dropped $31.
Oh,
now,
shame on Bitcoin.
What I'm trying to say is, class, you've got to be prepared for this. You really do. It's just like the stock market. It moves very quickly. It really does. So you can think about it and you can say, it just cost me $30 by waiting, or I just saved $30 by waiting, a minute or two. So Miles, you mentioned the wallet. Let's do it right now. Let's prepare the class for what do we need to do. Let's say we have savings. Let's say we have some amount of savings, $1,000, for example, in our savings account at a U.S. bank. What do we do? And we've got a computer. What do we do? What kind of computer do we need? Is the one that's sitting in front of me okay? Is it the one that I surf the internet on and go to the Drudge Report and Daily Mail and so forth and Zero Hedge? Is that okay to use that computer that I get my email on, or do I need a different computer? What are the steps? What are like first, second, third, fourth, and the prerequisites? What do we do? Okay, so you need to be aware of a couple of things. Number one is you cannot administrate, let anybody else administrate digital currencies than yourself. It is your responsibility, and if you delegate this responsibility, you will exactly receive what you get, nothing. You cannot delegate the responsibility of your cryptocurrencies to somebody else who will take care of that for you. No, that doesn't work like that. You are in charge, so you have to learn, and you are the one who is making the profit and the benefit, and you have to learn for that. So it is... You can pat yourself on the back. It's instant gratification every time you do something there and you increase your wealth or your savings. You can pat yourself on the back. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot delegate that. And in not delegating this, it means that you need to prepare yourself in terms of that you have a dedicated machine, dedicated computer, or dedicated smartphone with computing capabilities that you only use for your financial management, for financial asset management, period. This is a computer this is your vault. You're using it as your vault. And you need to upgrade if you have like Windows 95, 98 or something very old, forget about it. You need something from Windows 7 upwards. So if somebody wants to you need to upgrade your computer infrastructure to that. That's the first step. You need to get a good computer, industrial grade, not home grade, industrial grade, something that you would find in a bank or something that you would have as a salesperson that is traveling around, that is a little bit more sturdy and has a little bit more oomph in the computing power and in the RAM, that you reset clean, that you only work your financials and access your wallets, your online wallets and the wallets that are on your computer, as well where you access the brokerages and exchanges that you're going to choose for your exchanging dollars into cryptocurrencies. Is that so far understandable what I said? Yeah. What Miles, what I believe you said, Miles, is that the Walmart computer is not of sufficient durability. You want one that the hard drive is going to last longer. You want one that has better cooling. You want one that is more sturdy, that you can pick up and move from one desk to another, that's not going to break. Now, what about wireless versus wired? Are you concerned about using wireless technology within your home for this particular computer, or Do you want it wired or wireless, or doesn't it matter?
Personally, I'm not a friend of wireless. I'm not a friend of Wi-Fi at all, simply because if I can entrain a smartphone to spoof out your wireless communications, it'll take the worst case scenario is it takes me 2 hours to find out your access codes and be in your system. Having said that, it takes me only 3 hours to go into your hard line, in order to find out where you are. It really doesn't matter. You can use the Wi-Fi if you're using it out of health benefits. I wouldn't. That's another thing that I wouldn't do. But you can go Wi-Fi with that, and you can go hardline with that. It doesn't matter. Important thing is here, you need a computer that you keep for the next 5 years for your financial wealth management. We are we are now creating wealth here.
This computer, and in my case, it's a notebook. And my plan is that notebook is going to be powered off and physically disconnected by the Ethernet cable, the wired cable, unless I'm using it. It will not be powered on. It's not going to be on standby. When I want to use it, it will be powered up and connected. Otherwise, it'll be disconnected and powered off. Is that what you recommend, or does that not matter?
Exactly right. This is absolutely how you need to approach your security for your own financial wealth management. That's a great idea.
Okay. All right. So step number 1, we've got the computer. And in my case, it's a one that is a notebook. I bought it refurbished. It was wiped clean. I verified that there are no viruses on it, no spyware. And all it has is some very basic. It's got a browser. And I believe you recommended Chrome and Firefox. Is that right?
Yes. I wouldn't go in there with Microsoft Edge because it has telemetry, so Microsoft knows more about you and your cryptocurrencies than you do.
Okay. All right. We come back. We've got the hardware down. It's going to be a durable computer, and you can buy them refurbished. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them on eBay. Certified refurbished is the way I would go. And how much did I pay? About $200. We'll be right back. Class, Miles is with us, Senior USA Preparedness Instructor. He's in Europe. Miles, let me give my recap. This is what I believe you've said, and please correct me if I'm wrong in any of these points. So, class, to get started, you need a dedicated, quality PC. No internet surfing on this PC. Okay? No looking at the news and no going to other sites. You power it on only when you're going to manage your digital crypto finances. You'll need Google Chrome as a browser and Firefox. We didn't talk about this, but I assume, Miles, that we're talking about having a separate email account that's not given out to friends for, letting you see the latest news that they think you need to know about. Just a separate email account for finances. And you need an updated antivirus that is active and that you've checked this PC before you start using it. And that AVG is perfectly acceptable, including the free version. Did I recap this correctly?
Yes, I would use 2 new email accounts. Okay. One email account you are going to need for when you're registering for newsletters for your investments. Like if you want to invest in tokens of companies, corporations, banks, you're well advised to register for a newsletter where they keep you posted where in their business plan there are when you can expect the next jump in of that token, and even if you want to go into these initial coin offering pre-sales before they are offered on an exchange, you can buy them as a in a pre-sale with up to 30% discount, and that's very interesting for most of the tokens, because even if they only jump a little bit when they get out, you already made your profit of at least 15 to 30%. So you don't need to worry about holding a coin if you want to sell quickly. That's possible as well. So you need 2 accounts. One account is where you register with your exchanges and the brokerages. And one is where you register the newsletters with, that you have them separate. Because you don't want to have a mail coming in that fishes out your information where you might lose your assets. So protection of your private information, of all the codes, passwords that are up to 30 digits long, it requires separate email accounts for newsletters and separate email account for the registration for exchanges and brokerages. And here comes the next one that is required. You need at least 2 thumb drives. They need to be big. 2 gigabyte is totally adequate, the cheap ones, but you need a quality one that it has not a chip that goes bad quickly. So buy a more quality one, two of them at least. Why? Every time you register at an account for a cryptocurrency, you have these long 20 to 30 digit long passwords or private keys, and you need to save them. So you open up a Word document or a WordPad document, and you put your password, your username, the secret codes or whatever you need. You put it on there, and you put it on a thumb drive that you only stick it in the computer when you need it and take it out. And the second thumb drive is a backup. When you lose one, that you have another one as backup. Because when you encrypt with the cryptography, when you encrypt your assets and you're losing your keys, you're never going to retrieve them again.
Excellent point. And to add to that, what about some kind of a Faraday cage? And this can be made, this could be just like almost like an Altoids mint container, right? Just metal box on all sides with a lid that's pretty tight. Wouldn't that be somewhat more protective than just leaving a thumb drive on the desk?
Sure. You need, of course. We're talking about. I'll give you an example. I know somebody who invested in the cryptocurrencies. He invested $3,000 at the right time in Bitcoin. Today, he's a multimillionaire. Do you think that he would put any risk to his Bitcoins in having a thumb drive laying around or having it on a computer, working with a computer that is not safe and secure?
Yeah, and that's the old question about gold. Hey, I can't buy gold because where would I store it? How would I keep it safe? Well, think about that, class, with your digital cryptocurrencies. Think about that and make sure that you keep it safe. So, class, what we've done so far is we've picked our computer hardware. We've gotten a couple USB thumb drives. Miles, what's the next step in becoming, being able to use these digital currencies like Bitcoin?
If you can't afford it, you should purchase a hardware wallet. Just Google hardware wallets. You will find them anywhere between $69 and $200 or $300. I would recommend the Ledger, Bitcoin, Nano, or the Trezor wallet. This is a hardware wallet. Every transaction you make, you put in your hardware wallet, and it's totally off the internet, totally off the blockchain. It is safe with you. If you cannot afford it, buy it as soon as you can, because this is your hard. It's like your wallet for a hardware wallet that you can take everywhere where you want to. The next thing that you need to do is you need to install wallet on your computer, an electronic crypto wallet, and I recommend the wallet called Exodus, like in the Bible, Exodus, EXODUS.io. Go there, install it. They're offering for wallets for Windows systems, for Apple, for Android will follow sometime soon. And this wallet gives you a portfolio overview. It has an integrated exchange where you can exchange from one cryptocurrency in cryptocurrencies that are registered with Exodus already. So it is very convenient for you to use that. And you can see every minute it is refreshing the value of your portfolio, so you're always up to date with it. The name of the wallet is Exodus, EXODUS. This one needs to be installed on your computer. And then it's the question, how do you get the cryptocurrencies onto that wallet? That's the next step. We already touched upon the exchanges, and my recommendation for you is register at least with 3 of the major exchanges. Why? The exchanges limit you in your transaction capabilities. You have to start with lower. You cannot go in there and exchange $50,000, $20,000, $10,000. You're restricted to a couple of $100 for your first transactions within the first 30 days or even 3 months. And they restrict you even that you have to pay, you have to charge that account through a wire transfer. After 30 days, you can upgrade. You can put your credit card into that. Your credit card is being charged for the purchase of a cryptocurrency. So it will charge the credit card when the money arrives at your cryptocurrency account with the exchange. You can purchase them. I recommend 3 exchanges as a start. These are the 3 largest. The one is Kraken.com, Kraken.com. The second one would be Gemini.com, like the Gemini mission, NASA Gemini mission. So Gemini.com. And the third one would be Coinbase.com. I repeat, Coinbase.com. When you register with them, they need some form of authentication because they are regulated that you cannot launder money. And this is absolutely fine. I'm very happy with that. And we need actually more regulation in the cryptocurrency. So this is the first step with regulating the exchanges. After you registered, it might happen to you that when the influx of new customers with these exchanges is very high at the day you register, that you need to wait for 2, 3, 5 days, because when they have a run of 100,000 people a week, sometimes it takes a time until your registration goes through the pipeline. Then you can start charging your accounts depending on what kind of currencies you want to purchase. And I recommend you, if you don't want to go into with big amounts, to start right now with Litecoin, to purchase Litecoin, and then transfer the Litecoin to your Exodus wallet. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to keep your cryptocurrencies in your wallet with the exchange or the broker. You want to wire it. You want to transfer it right when you purchased it, and it arrived with a brokerage account or the exchange account. You want to transmit it directly to your Exodus wallet that you have it in safekeeping. Otherwise, it can happen that these exchanges are playing with that. You are leaving it in their custody, so they can play with it overnight and do transactions like we know it from our banks with the stock exchanges with high-frequency trading. You don't want that. You want it in your safekeeping. So transfer it directly to your Exodus account. And from there, you already started. So you have, in your Exodus wallet, you can transfer from Litecoin into Bitcoin, Dash, Decred, EOS, Ethereum, and the big ones, and the biggest ones that are there, including a couple of tokens that they're already integrated. So you're on a very safe place there, a very comfortable place as a wallet. And if you wish, you can download a wallet to your smartphone where you can spend money with your smartphone. There are businesses that are accepting cryptocurrencies already with the NFC payment method over the smartphone with the wallet that you need for that. Another way to spend Bitcoins is you can register at 10x, T-A-N and X, 10x, and get a credit card, a Visa or a MasterCard that is connected to an electronic wallet where you can spend the electronic cryptocurrencies for goods and services in the real economy due to that debit card. The debit card charges then your wallet. So far, any questions, Vince?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I understand. So if we have, well, let's say, moved our Bitcoins to our personal computer, and we have this software Exodus wallet, we can then download from that computer's software Exodus wallet to our smartphone. But what application do we need on our smartphone?
These are smartphone wallets. You find wallets in every Google Play shop. One very popular is Mycelium. Mycelium is for Android phones a wallet where if you go somewhere and you want to pay somebody with Bitcoin, you can charge your Mycelium wallet with whatever you need from your Exodus wallet. You transfer it over to your Mycelium wallet, and then you can go out and you can buy a tractor if the other one wants to have a Bitcoin for that, or you can purchase whatever you want if the other side accepts the Bitcoin. You can transact right there, right then and there, in Bitcoin or in Ether or in any kind of cryptocurrency.
Okay, so do these wallets synchronize the wallets on the computer and the wallet on the smartphone? Do they synchronize? Are they at this? Once
you don't want that. You don't want the synchronization. You want safety. So you use one wallet on your computer, and you use a different address, a different account, a different crypto account on your Mycelium wallet, because once your wallet gets lost and you have access to your main wallet, you can lose everything. You can lose everything in terms of access.
Okay, just like losing a wallet with hundreds of dollars in the billfold, if you will. Okay, so if I have, let's say, $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency in my personal computer, my main wallet, and I transfer 100 of that to my smartphone, if I had one, that smartphone, I can spend that $100 worth, if you will, from my smartphone, but the amount I have in my main wallet, my computer, is $900 because I moved $100. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay. I think we've got the concept now. Okay. So what's next?
What is next is that you need to start working with CoinMarketCap.com in order to find out what the currencies are that you're interested in. So it gives you an overview and oversight on what kind of cryptocurrencies there are. And now you need to start educating yourself. And the best way in order to educate yourself is go to YouTube and find channels that report about the cryptocurrencies you're interested in, such as, I give you a couple of them. JSNIP4 would be one that is talking very much about cryptocurrencies and these initial coin offerings in order to purchase tokens from a company. He has educational videos on what kind of accounts he's using. He's using Exodus as well. But for Ether, for transaction in Ether, probably you might use Ether's own online wallet as well in order to store tokens there that Exodus doesn't allow you to store. But there are educational videos on there. JSNIP4. Then there is Cryptoverse. You find it on YouTube. Cryptoverse, like universe, but only Cryptoverse. Then there is a channel that is very good. He's explaining currencies in detail, and that is Crypto Bud. Like Buddy, Bud, Crypto Bud. Go online there, go to YouTube, educate yourself, listen, learn how to navigate your life in the cryptocurrencies, because these cryptocurrencies are what is going to stay after the reset. No government will seize them because they're above governments. They can only seize everything that you have in dollar value or in Europe in euro value, and the cryptocurrencies are wanted to stay. They're going to survive that, and there is no seizure of gold, silver, or dollars coming up with the cryptocurrencies.
Miles, I have a comment. Class, here's what I did last night. I hooked up a computer with a HDMI cable to a flat screen in our kitchen. And Mrs. Finelli and I just watched YouTube videos. You don't have to watch television. You don't need over-the-air nonsense. You can actually watch videos that will make you money. JSNIP4, J-S-N-I-P, the number 4. Cryptoverse, CryptoBud. Miles, 6 years ago, gold and silver were where the financial safety was. Conceptual currencies were a very distant and remote possibility. Now, conceptual currencies are here, they're active, and they're burgeoning. And, Mile Class, the next step is up to you. It really is. You can get on board, or you can get run over. Now, imagine this is coming, and it will be here, and it will be ubiquitous. If you believe that's the case, you can let someone else manage it for you, and all the profits will have been taken already, or you can get on board in the early days, the adopting days, like now, and you can suffer some of the pitfalls, and you can suffer some of the risks, but you can minimize those risks through knowledge, and that's what we're talking about here today. Miles, pitfalls. What are some of the pitfalls that you'd like to make us aware of?
Pitfalls can be that you are transferring a currency to a wrong address. You need to double check every time when you want to transfer digital currencies or tokens from one address to the other. You need to double check that you are sending to the right address, or that you're not sending from yourself to yourself, because every transaction you generate a little fee. And you don't want to generate fees from sending from yourself to yourself. Or once you send a cryptocurrency or a token away, it's gone. Once you confirm that you want to send it to this or that address, that token is gone. It is you cannot recover it unless it is a computer glitch with the servers that a transaction wasn't completed. That is recoverable. Software guys can help you with that. The brokerages will help you with that, or the exchanges will help you with that. They have a customer support for things like that. Don't send an ether to any kind of Ponzi schemes or to a gaming platform or something that offers you 7,000% gains per month or per year. There are snowball systems in place that where you invested the Bitcoin in and you receive nothing when you have been at the end of the chain when they collapsed. So somebody transferred that then into another account and you are looking through your fingers. Keep it safe, play it safe. First, learn what you want to do, how you want to do it, what are the steps for that, and then do it after you watched somebody show you how a certain wallet works or how an exchange works, and don't go for games or for projects that you do not trust in. If you want to invest in a company, you are well advised to read their white papers, their business plans, to find out who is on the management. If there's somebody in the management that is already that has already proven track record that he is somebody, a key figure in creating blockchain technologies or companies, that's a good sign. Don't fall for stars and starlets from TV and music. Go for the hard facts. Find out about the ideas that you are interested in, and invest wisely.
And for those who are saying, heck, I've got a broker, he's a really good guy, and he tells me what stocks to buy and sell, but he's a really good guy. Is there that equivalent in this marketplace, in the crypto marketplace?
There are some that claim to do so, but they still have to prove themselves. And I wouldn't trust anybody with a 10-foot pole if I would know that one Bitcoin will be worth more than 100,000 in a couple of years. I wouldn't simply do it.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds to me like, class, if you're up for this, you're going to have to do your own research. You're going to have to spend the time. You're going to have to learn, just like you did in school. except this you're learning on your own, and the potential is all there for you if you're interested. If you're not, you can just wait, and you'll have a guardian. He'll take care of it for you, with no profit to you. Did I say that right, Miles?
Absolutely right.
Miles, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate it.